Right. I'm much more prepared today. I came a little early. Underestimation. Last week was like 10 minutes ago.
Well, it's like all of a sudden everyone came in at once.
Yeah. It's gonna take turns daily. Huh? Yeah, no growling.
Better put them on that down right now. Because I might think they're a little serious and I want to go out there. You charge it. Good. Hey, coach.
It's brains behind the outbreak. Yeah. I know, but he's.
That's right. Hi, how's it going? Good, you sound good. Hey, I'm doing. Good. Welcome back.
What? What do you mean? Like, put two here to the side. You have to reverse them. What do you mean here? How would you like me to think about that?
Why?
This is
Because I want to try something out of your field in here.
Sunday. Anybody can come to wrestling practice on cold.
And you're picking on me, why?
Absolutely.
What are you gonna do to me? I don't know about that. Bro, I got a tournament tomorrow. Golfing, right?
I didn't break your arm.
And I also have a tournament Saturday.
Okay, you're landing on your back.
I don't care. And I have state in a couple weeks if I go.
And you're here?
Yes.
There's a virtual way. I feel like I know you. What's your name?
You're from Miller? Sure. The freshman, right? Girl, what are you doing?
My leg is so. You know, Thursday when I like tighten it up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
you're doing stairs? Oh, God, not stairs. I prefer stairs over running the field. I mean, like, I don't like running the field. I don't like
My
it.
legs hurt a lot with stairs, but at least with the field, it's like just
Oh, the field messes with my options. It messes with me. I'd rather do stairs because they're like built for endurance. Agreed. What? Okay, so Audrey said something. Yeah, we turn around.
Audrey. You will eventually have to deal with me. I want to try to body slam one of them and they won't let me.
What sport do you think this is?
Wrestling?
WWE wrestling?
No, I mean like grab onto a back, roll over. No, I mean like when you hug them, lean back, and then end up on top of them.
Oh, yeah.
literally like singing in the backseat.
Wait, like just now?
Yeah, like, oh, that's what I'm saying. She's super pressed about it. It just happened.
When it doesn't, when it doesn't trigger your disease, it actually works.
That's why people wear leggings. Back there, just
So who would they do it to? First, isn't here. I mean, like, could be wrestling, like he's running. I think.
Yeah, about it.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
Yeah, it was your first two backseat.
Yeah, I guess it's you then.
No, it's not.
Alright, come on, let's go.
Wrestling's fun. Okay, yeah.
You can really do that.
Yeah. Come here, Jordan. Excuse me. Hey. Yes, I know you tell everybody.
I don't think you would have loved that.
Correct.
Okay, no, he's not here. She said she would have eventually let me.
No, you're not doing it on me.
Six people. Want something.
Yeah, you just want someone to throw.
Yeah, like you want something. So at first, where I have no issue with where I'm
Give me
not
another.
taking anything.
You're gonna get your ass kicked at one.
Or go undefeated all day. Because I hate that.
Well, wait till you get to the matches. There's gonna be people who are experienced.
Well, like, I mean, people are.
Percy. Never mind.
Hey, what's up? Hopefully, I wear them down.
Oh, yeah.
You're pretty out of it.
No.
That's funny. Keeps going. So those are Carter Stern's sisters.
Oh, look at him. Hey, so I haven't had the open in a while. Where are we at?
He's on Saturday, bro.
How's he doing?
I'm trying to balance. I can balance.
I used to practice. I kind of got to move around so I don't get stuck with these things. And that's it out.
You don't need it, so you get that hard. Grayson hit it on him?
I didn't put any limitations. I just said I just want to see somebody hit it. So I saw two. The one was banned.
Wow.
So there were two. There you go. We got to start somewhere.
That's right. That's exactly right. Hi, how are you? Good.
It is. You got to put it.
Hey, you don't have to tell her though, she thinks the tooth fairy is a female. I told her I thought the tooth fairy was a male. So, you gotta get this stuff.
Why are you making so much?
Okay. I hope so.
I know, what is it?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Listen, I really have a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely. You will know.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Howdy,
April's not doing it.
Come back when you come back another time if you want.
It just scared me.
It's all right.
All right.
What are you doing? I'm watching.
All right. What's that? I brought that ball. I think it's already going.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was. What'd you do to it?
No, it's not hurry on.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You gotta figure it out.
Yeah, I just figured that out.
My dad's like, I don't see the live wrestling when it's there and there. I just pretend the camera was there. I didn't know. Why would you point that out?
How you guys doing? Good. Go ahead. Get ready to try. Chad, what's your last name?
That's like,
It's all right. I think I figured it's gonna be kind of up and down. I don't know what quite there.
I think that's time.
Hey, we'll get going in about a minute or two here. There's still some people checking in, so if you gotta go to the bathroom or anything, that might be a good time, or hang out. We'll get started here in a second. What you guys doing?
I want to
I did, yeah, they messed up. I got the wrong one. One side I was trying to get, like, I had the one in the tab. I actually brought the other one.
That one you want.
So, yeah, the biggest one is. It's so funny because they drop them off. It looks like dead body. They're all wrapped up and you can't really tell what they are. Kind of human looking. All right, hey, I think we'll go ahead and get started here. Might be some others trickling in, but that's okay. Then some getting our shoes on, but we'll start just getting a little warm up going here. But just once again, thank everybody for coming out here. This is just cool to see week after week. You guys are showing up. I was talking did it on a Sunday, a beautiful Sunday afternoon of the fall, right? To come in here and get some practice in, and so that's cool. And one thing about wrestling that you'll learn if you continue to do it, that being dedicated, being disciplined is a huge part of it, right? And so once again, good job for everybody showing up. We're just kind of go through the same routine that we've done the last 2 weeks. So again, I mean, it's open room. Nobody has to follow the practice, but you know, it seems like that's kind of the way it's gone. Once you guys are here, are pretty new and want to learn, and so that's perfectly fine. We'll kind of just keep going through that wrestling 101, give you guys a nice base and some fundamentals, prepare you guys for hopefully going out there and competing this season, which will be here very soon. So you guys are doing yourselves a huge service by getting in here and getting these reps in. And you know, I was just thinking about what a cool thing this is. You know, it obviously girls wrestling being sanctioned. A lot of you older girls are gonna possibly participate in high school, and I mean, you really have an opportunity. It's kind of unprecedented to go out there and make history, right? It's like the playing field is gonna be pretty even. It's not like there's a ton of girls who've been wrestling for 10, 15 years out there that you're gonna have to compete with. It's very possible some of you could be state placers, state champions, you know, right away if you get serious and dedicated. just learn some basic stuff. And so I don't know, that just kind of popped into my head because I was thinking about it when I was driving over here today. That that's just not typical for a new sport starts. Usually there's going to be an established group of kids who've been playing it for 20, 50 years that are going to be at the top, and anybody who comes in brand new, you're going to pay some dues, which you will, by sweat and hard work. But man, I'm telling you, you guys have an opportunity to do something cool and be successful right off the bat. And so hopefully that will inspire some of you guys to keep doing it. And and it all starts with just showing up and putting the work in. So good job. Hey, I think this is start here, just to kind of keep it fun. We'll go with 5 and 5 again. So I'll throw out about 5 or 6 of those little dodgeballs. That means everybody's for themselves. We're just going to run around, throw dodgeballs at each other. If you get hit, George, what do we do?
5 push-ups, 5
And 5 good sit-ups or crunches. Oh, hey, and again, my name's Coach Murphy. All right, a lot of you guys know Coach Barefoot that's been here. Coach Steingraber was up at the front helping check in. I got a new face in here tonight, Coach Mike Braun, who's another one of our lead coaches here for our Predator program. And just real quick about Coach Braun, if any of you guys know girls wrestling, and I've heard the name Allison Schuster, went to that clinic here recently. Coach Braun was her personal coach for several years, back in the, 2010-ish time when, several years ago. And the point is, there weren't a lot of girls going around wrestling, right, at that time. So it's kind of cool that they would hit the road and they would go wrestle and travel all over the country. But those girls that were doing it at that time really opened some doors, kind of made these opportunities. So needless to say, a big advocate, supporter of girls wrestling, a great coach, great person. And so make sure you guys say hi, and if you can help at all. Then also, Coach Darling's been coming, Wahoo? Yeah. Been coming up to Wahoo, bringing a couple girls, so we appreciate his help. And also Coach Allen over here too. So his daughter, Jaylee, and they help out with our beginning program. So just want to do those introductions. We're not going to touch you or anything like that. But you got a couple balls, Coach. We'll throw these out. We'll get run around. We'll do about 3 or 4 minutes here. Hey, make sure you're moving, right? No standing around. Gonna be hopping, bouncing. Come on, Danny. Come on, girl. Are you telling me not to do this?
No,
I thought you were waving me off.
no, just quiet.
I'm too
Awkward to say hello normally, so just
okay.
I thought it was good.
I already started.
So I was kind of like, my bad.
It's gonna be awkward now when you stop in the middle of it. So. Hey, guys.
Oh, push up. Extra strong. Gabby.
Where do you go throw the ball, dude? That's the point.
Oh,
Throw the ball. There you go.
Good sit-ups, Move in. Breathe.
Oh, go ahead, Chuck. Let's go. You can't throw it over your head. Hey, don't.
Right.
Move it, throw the ball.
Go. Hey! I was just getting up. I hit the wall first.
Martha, get out! Wait a minute.
Baseball is my favorite.
Back to your dog. High knees, pick them up. Good. Back to our choppy. All right, switch your kick. Okay, we're gonna face inside, we'll shuffle up high, right on the feet.
Sideways.
Now turn around and face the wall, same thing.
Oh my gosh.
Back to our dogs. All right, go to the wall. All right, before we get a drink, last thing we'll do, we'll keep going in our circle here. But we're gonna practice our motion forward, meaning we're gonna get our good stance. We'll start taking those small little steps forward here. Trail step, lead step, hands out front. Just get walking in our motion here, down low on our stance.
Oh, feet wide. Grab it in a second. You bring your feet together. It's too long. Wide.
All right, hey, we'll take a minute. Go ahead, grab a drink, go to the bathroom, get a breath.
I got it.
You got tired? As if you would run so fast. Warm up for a while. We got some cups if anybody needs to borrow. Not borrow, you gotta keep it. Paper. We don't want them back. Just got my new balloon, but I got that neighbor there.
Oh, really? Oh, because it's not there.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Those are white crackers in the crowd.
Hey, Jordan.
This, I forgot to yell it out. If once you get to the drink, if you need, we'll just take like a minute, 2 minutes most. It's a self stretch. Just you gotta shake some stuff out. You're on your own.
No frog legs. No frog legs. No frog legs.
Frog legs.
No frog legs.
What is that?
Frog legs.
That's frog legs.
My
My grandma, she knows.
You can do that.
Hey, you guys are supposed to be stretching. Take a stretch, Rudy.
Look at my split.
Or yoga because it wasn't coming.
Look at my split.
When I got her forward.
Dang, girl.
What?
You can do it. You're really doing. No, but she's on. I'm not sick. I could, but I wouldn't be able to get up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna push it.
Okay, so if you guys are good, we can get started. Whoever's ready here. We'll kind of just go through as quickly as I can. Well, not as quickly as I can, but I still want to keep adding new stuff. So like I've been kind of prefacing all month that this is kind of a crash course, obviously, right? We could go really in depth on some of this stuff, but I just want to give you guys a kind of a broad overview of just some the rules, the basic positions. Maybe a technique out of each position and kind of tie it all together about how we use them and where we use them, and just kind of give you that general understanding. Because really, once you have that base and once you start understanding that stuff, learning wrestling, it goes faster when you kind of know where you're fitting all this stuff in as you're learning. Okay, so we've gone stance and motion, right? We talked about position, our neutral position, kind of. Being, positioning in general in wrestling, the most important thing as far as, just having success. If you're out of position, it doesn't matter, move, strength, any of that stuff. And so, you guys are all, go ahead and spread out. Let's just all get, we got the whole gym. Let's get a space here and we'll just kind of walk through some of this stuff. Starting with just the good stance. See who all remembers. Hey, is anybody brand new tonight? Let me ask that first just to make sure. It's fine if you are. Everybody's been here at least once. And so just real quick, breaking down the stance, right? I always start kind of with the feet. We've got two options here. I can go square stance, which would mean my toes are in line, or a staggered stance where I'll have something called a lead leg. I'm just going to step that forward about 6 or 8 inches right here. That's what I prefer usually most of the time. When I'm wrestling, I'll be in a staggered stance most of the time, but defensive stance is good too. If you're good at attacking both sides, for circling, defense, those kind of things. And so let's see everybody just break down their good stance. We got feet wide, lead leg. Now we got to get low, knees are bent. Put that chest down, get that head out the front, elbows in, hands out. These are all looking good. Good. You guys learn so much quicker than grade schoolers. So we talked about motion next. That's just moving our feet, getting ready to move, and staying in that good position, right? And so it's going to be short, choppy steps, but not bouncing. You got to kind of find that in between. But I don't want to go step, because now they're close every time. If I'm going forward, I'm not walking, letting them get close. It's going to be right here. If I'm going sideways, it's here. Just circling, it's here. Short little steps. Okay, just like that. Staying with my feet wide. If you have a lead leg, keep that lead leg out in front. So let's just do that. Again, we're just going to go through this quick, and I'm going to keep going over some of the things we've added. But let's just move around for 20, 25 seconds. Kind of like we just did on our warm-up. You go feet apart. Stay on your toes. Always want to keep those feet moving. All right, that's it. And like I said, so we're going to just keep adding all the parts here, then we'll do a little longer one at the end. So even that first week we had talked about level change, right? Level change just means, just like it sounds, I'm going to change my level by bending my knees. I'm not bending my back. It's just right here. And that could be either to fake an attack, or if Jordan's trying to attack me, I might do it to do a down block, keep her away, okay? And then last week we added sprawl. You guys remember that? So, maybe? 3, sprawl? Want to show us? Okay, well, I won't put you on the spot. Okay, and so sprawl we use, there's several different times in wrestling we might use a sprawl, but it's mostly thought for like defending maybe a leg attack or counter offense. And so again, that's just going to be me shooting my legs out and really trying to slam my hips down into my opponent. But again, I don't want to do it like a donkey kick where I kick back. It's going to be more like I see this person come in and boom, I'm trying to smash them by dropping those hips, okay? When we do this, when we're drawing stance in motion, we do this, we'll circle back up into our stance. Okay, so when we're doing a sprawl drill without a partner, we'll hit it, boom, and circle, back into my position, okay? Let's go 45 seconds. Let me see your sprawl, Jordan. Ready, go. Sprawl. All right, circle. There we go. Give her a clap. Good job. Okay, so we're We'll go 45 seconds again, stance in motion, okay? Really concentrating on those feet. But now if you want to add in those level changes, right? Add a couple level changes in, and then also a couple sprawls. 45 seconds, 2 or 3 sprawls, couple level changes. But the motion looks really good last time. And then we're going to add one more skill tonight after that. So go ahead, get your stance, break it down. We'll go here, right again. Keep those feet wide.
Spread out.
Heavy through your hips.
No, move sprawl. Feet are wide. Sprawl, feet are wide. Yeah, much better. Keep those feet wide. You want to be on those toes. Throw those hips to the mat.
Just get out of my mouth. Don't do that.
Stay down in that stand. Stay down in that stand. Now, once you sprawl, circle out of it. Keep on it.
Time. Good job. All right. Hey, the last thing on this tonight is I'm going to add a new skill to it, okay? And we're not even going to do stance of motion out of it, but next week we'll have it during our stance of motion, and in future practice we'll be using it for our attacks, okay? And it's called a penetration drop step. And so the way that I think we'll do this is have everyone just come to this far wall. We're going to spread out and do one big line. Kind of do a quick crash course here. So a penetration step in wrestling, right, is something that we use generally when we're going in for a leg attack to get our opponent. And so there's lots of different kinds of penetration steps. There's lots of different ways and places that we'll do it. One of the first ones we start learning sometimes teaching is called a penetration drop step. Okay, so everybody knows penetration means to go into something. Drop means I'm going to go down. And step means I'll be doing something with my feet, I guess, right? But this is something like this. Okay, mine's not perfect. I'm not in my prime here, but level change, something like that. Okay, and so for this one in particular, come on, coach, it seems like a dummy stance. For this one in particular, this is a technique. If I'm going to do just kind of a standard move in wrestling, a double leg takedown, it's kind of like a football tackle, right? I don't just put my head down and then extend, dive out, and belly flop, and hope I grab somebody's legs, right? That's not going to be the beat block there, and so we'll get to that later with the hand by the setup. But let's just say coach is a dummy here, right? To get to those legs, the technique that we use a lot of times is this penetration drop step. So the skill I just showed there before, now I'll do it with a partner in front of me, and it might make more sense why we learned it here. Level change, penetrate, and then I can tap it, okay? And so the way we'll learn this, there's a couple important things here. And so for this one, we'll just have everybody kind of get in their stagger stance, right? So even if you prefer your square stance, you should kind of start figuring out which leg you want in front for your attack leg, right? And so here's going to be the tricky part. When I did that, I want you to watch if my trail leg knee hits the mat, and it doesn't. Spoiler alert, right? But it's kind of hard to leave that leg behind because it doesn't go natural. The level change is shoot forward on this knee, okay? But I'm level changing. It's kind of like spring loading because I'm going to push off this one. That's going to help me to go forward. So that level change is here. I've got lower. This is going to help me shoot. Obviously, I want my knee to go forward. And this knee's never going to hit the mat, okay? And this foot's not going to come forward until after this knee has hit the mat. So level change, penetrate. Now my trail foot comes up, right? And now we get that lead leg back in front. All right, and there's a little more to that when we use it like to do an attack, just so we get the skill down. So here's the first thing we'll do, just so you guys get comfortable. Because even the older kids, we start teaching this, it feels weird to fall forward without going like that. Because your natural instincts feel like you should catch yourself. So let's just get here and have everybody do, 4 or 5. You're not going to come out like I did. Just do a level change and then drop to that front knee. Come back up. Yeah, you can go back to while you time to do it. So level change. I'm going to push off and drop to that front knee. Try to keep my balance. Yeah. Level change. Try to keep your balance. Try not to touch the mat because remember, I'm going to be going in to grab somebody's legs. So I need to find. Good. All right. Sometimes I don't give you girls enough credit, right? Huh? You guys probably could have nailed it after one example. But that's okay. And so here's what we'll do. Now we'll have everybody do 3 or 4 to the other side. And so just like you were doing there, to get comfortable. Now when I start teaching it, I'll have kids just kind of go heel, toe, knee to get used to it. But remember, if I'm really wrestling, and so this might be for some of you guys who are ready to try this. If I'm really wrestling though, if I go heel, if I'm out here and I do that, I'm gonna go forward and coach is gonna sprawl and squirt on me. So if you can, try to cover some distance. That's the point I'm making. So if I'm really practicing, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna cover some distance forward. I'm really going to attack somebody. But once you do, just like you just did, now your trail leg comes up. Now you're back in your position. Couple motion steps forward, level change, straight, right there. Okay? Let's just do 3 or 4 down this way and we'll see how it looks. Go ahead. So hey, that looks pretty good for everybody's first time, right? It's gonna take a little time for this to feel natural. It's a strange movement, right? One point, I saw a couple people were switching and then falling. I can't fall into it, but they were falling. Each time I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna reset in my good position. Take 2 little motion steps. So I'm always gonna be falling to the same knee. Coach, do you have any points to make up for watching that?
What I have to tell you guys is, I had a couple girls that Coach Sim was doing the reset on that. Here's something else I will tell you, is that when you take your penetration step, if you are falling forward and if you have to put your hands down, that's too much weight on your knee. Okay, I'm doing that to go into my opponent, but I don't want to put a heck of a lot of weight on that knee as I'm going forward. So if I'm here and I'm hitting that penetration step, I'm here and then I'm here, and I should be able to come up very easily and quickly. And if I can't, I've got too much weight on that front knee. Okay? So some of us are kind of dive bombing down in there, and like Coach has kind of demonstrated that if I do that, I'm gonna probably have a hard time finishing off of that because I have so much weight going forward there. Okay?
Try to think in your head, hips in, back straight, head up on most of our attacks. I'm going to be bringing those hips in underneath me. Sometimes I like to tell little kids, it makes them realize, picture that opponent and your shoulder going for right underneath your belly button. And that kind of helps us keep our chest up. What I want to end up when I get to this point is a power line. My shoulder, knee, hip, and shoulder, all as close to one line as possible. Because all my strength's in my core. The more I get like this, the more I'm going to have trouble. So this will be the last part of this, right? So we'll do 3 or 4 more, but try to stay up a little bit more so we're not going forward.
You're rounded
Go
over.
ahead. Slow it down. Yeah, slow it down. Level change.
Alternate sides. That's good. That's good. Stay wide. Stay wide with your feet.
Okay, that's good work. That's good work.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, so so we're done with that. Let's get back to with our partners now. So find a partner, spread out, find a black circle. We'll get back into our hand fight in a little bit. Review. All right, hey, I'm just gonna keep running through this. You know what? Just to make it easy, and I run out of time every week. I always will run out of time. I'll tell you that. I can sit for a long time and do this, but I'm trying to find that balance between doing you guys justice and giving you some good stuff. And I'd rather take it slow, at least give you an understanding to just rush through everything. But my point is, if you need a drink, go get a drink right on your own. I'm not gonna. If I think about it after some live, maybe I'll throw a drink break in. But if you're dying and you really need a drink, just go do it. If you're dying, go do it. So with that being said, we'll keep moving forward here. Now, that penetration drop step, right? We talked about there's three parts. If I'm going to try to take somebody down, so I get my offense going, set up, attack, finish. Okay, and so really up to this point, we've been working on the setup part when we were talking about our hand fighting, our wrist control, right? We learned double bicep, and last week we added head and bicep, right? And then we did a bunch of pushing, pulling out of there. And then lastly, we talked about pulling them down into that front headlock and scoring that go bind. And so, the snapping them and pulling them down, that would be the attack on that takedown. Well, the penetration drop step would be part of my attack on a leg attack too. So just connect those dots. But here's what we'll do. We're just gonna go into some nice, we'll go like 50-50 hand fighting, so like about 50%, so we're not going as hard as we can. And I'll review real quick what we've gone through so far. And then this is a good chance where we'll just kind of work through those with our partner, where we're both trying to get control, right? But also, at the same time, most importantly, staying in good position. Okay, so first we talked about that wrist control, right? We do our wrist roll, where we're coming around, grabbing, I come cross wrist if I need to, get that baseball grip. And then we also worked on one of our inside control double biceps, right? So Coach got me that inside control here. I don't want that. I come underneath, I get inside. We're both pushing, we're both pulling. We're both staying in our good stance, looking for that inside control. All right, and then the last week we added was head and bicep. So instead of having both biceps, now I got one hand here. Remember, elbow down to the mat, right? And I'm pushing and pulling. Coach doesn't want to be in there. He gets his. Maybe I come out, now maybe I grab a wrist, right? And so now we're just in here working. We're just moving our feet, getting comfortable, always trying to get inside, right? And moving each other. And that's what's going to set us up, to hopefully have a good attack. Anything to add?
Good.
Okay. So again, just 50%. We'll go live, right? So nobody going too hard right now, too stiff. Just kind of working with each other like we were. And then we'll kind of watch and help if we have any points. We'll fall back in.
So we're doing all everything that you've shown so far. We're doing it all.
Yeah. So all of those. We'll just do working through all 3 of those right now. Moving our opponent, okay? So go ahead with your partner. Just go ahead in your stance. Just start working those wrists, those arms, moving your feet. So you're just gonna work on
Now we're not going live.
wrists and
Work
arms.
together. Work together. Remember, we're trying to get inside position.
Yep, you're moving your feet, circling, right? That's the pulling. Just 50%. You're working together. Working together. This one is out here for a while now. You can start working Always working to get inside.
Forehead to forehead. Don't cheek to cheek, ladies. Just go forehead to forehead. Forehead to forehead. Coach, we talk about that at all?
Yeah, I might not. But
Yeah, not like
and time. Hey, I gotta tell you, that does look much better. And the thing I'm not seeing that last week I was seeing a lot of is people going, well, I know I didn't have my wrist, so I'm gonna roll and I'm gonna pull away, right? And that's what we don't want to do in wrestling. And hand fighting is a fight, right? In fight, you're gonna stay in there. So I'm not doing that. I'm staying in here and working. So that looks a lot better. One important point. I heard Coach Braun say that. I don't know if I've mentioned yet, but I might have last week. But in that head and bicep, we don't want to be in what's called cheek to cheek. So our guy's coach here, he gets me, and we're cheek to cheek. This is a neutral position, right? Nobody has an advantage here, and so we don't want to spend that much time in here because our opponent has lots of options. If we're going we want to go forehead to forehead, okay, right in here. So make sure we're not staying in here cheek to cheek. We want to be forehead to forehead in that position. Let's go now, same partner here. We're going to go another 30 seconds. Now it's going to be live hand fighting. Okay? So now it's going to be as hard as you can. Pulling, pushing, snapping. The object is to get your opponent out of position while you stay in good position. Okay? And so anything that we learned or you know anything else, but stay in a good position. Always working to be inside, pushing and pulling, snapping, moving them around. The last thing I'll say is I did see some of us getting too comfortable hanging out here and maybe thinking we have something. Remember, we're always going to be looking to come inside, okay? That's where the fight happens.
And then one other thing that I would add, it worked on a lot of you, I know. But We also want to try not to be extended with our arms, okay? The more that we're extended, the more susceptible we are to being attacked. We always should have our hands down. We should have short arms. And you said, well, I got to go in, I got to extend to reach them. No, you walk in, and we have our short arms here. And then we get our position there, okay? So elbows should always be at your sides, okay? We start getting out here, we're going to be open to attacks a lot more. We're creating space, we'll be open to attacks there. Okay, try to think of that. We're throwing a lot at you at one time here. But these are all the essential components of hand fighting, okay?
So let's, we'll take 30 seconds here so you guys put it to use. And remember, don't forget, just because it's about hand fighting, we're moving our feet, staying low, good position, okay? 30 seconds, no takedowns or anything, just trying to move each other out of position. Ready, go. Pushing, pulling.
Most people are working now. Most people are working inside.
Both people.
Moving your feet, staying in your stance. Head down on your feet. Go cheek to cheek. Working inside now. Yep, working inside. That way. Keep working inside. You can wrist fight in there as well. Yep, you can wrist fight. You're moving them. Moving them. You're trying to get inside. Keeping your elbows bent. Moving those feet. I'm going to keep the other 5 for a tip.
No. And time. Good job.
I will attribute you $5. Make it that.
Why don't everybody go take a quick drink, then we'll keep going. Good work.
She wouldn't give me $5 for a tip.
No, Jordan, not yet.
Yeah. It keeps asking for a soccer card.
She loves Sharks Minnows.
So bad.
What are you going to do?
No, not to the end, dude. Let's out. Hey, at the end, you have to focus on wrestling first, okay?
Nice coach.
I'm gonna start bleeding.
Okay, so technically you're supposed to go. Yeah, bro, she's been asking for you ever since
All right, hey, let's finish it off here.
She wasn't ready for that practice yet.
You're right.
All right, come on, get your butt back on. Boy, she got a long way to go. Come on.
Hey, we'll need a partner here for this next part. So go ahead and find a partner. We'll keep moving on. And so I just, really what I want to get to here before practice is some referee's position, right? So if you ever watch wrestling, somebody gets down, somebody gets on top. I want to cover that with everybody. But I also want to real quick make sure I'm reviewing what we covered last week, right? We've got front headlock. All right, so we're gonna do that real quick, and then we'll get to some down positions. So, if you guys remember, in practice, I think we'll just go down on our knees to save time, right? But I would do this at my push pull like we did last week. But just to save time, we'll go down and just to review that front headlock before we get in, because we want to get some of that referee position. Now, remember I talked about where my hands are at on this. So if I just snap coach down here, the hand that was on the head, the collar tie. That's the hand that's going to come underneath and snatch this chin, right? But to replace that hand, my shoulder's got to go there quickly. So I'd be pushing and pulling, and as I snap, right away, I'm rolling my shoulder to the top, boom. And I have this thing in here tight like I'm holding a football. I don't want to fumble, right? Getting that elbow in there too. Now the other hand, it was on bicep. It's basically just going to come around to tricep as I come in here. But I'm also bringing that elbow in tight. And I'm trying to really bring this ear or this shoulder kind of to his ear. I like to bring that arm in too, so he doesn't have as many options to grab me. So I'd be chin, armpit, and I'm in here. See how I'm bringing that in as much as I can? I kind of like that, okay? And so let's just get in that position real quick. We can even just snap them down from here. We'll grab head, bicep, snap the chin and arm, and just see where we look from there.
Yeah.
So, let me try.
There you go. Then this arm's going to go around. Runner, yep. Run face right here. And then have our arm over here. Yep. There you go. That's good. And then just sprawl now, too. get used to slowing down. Head's got to come down underneath this lady. Now the other side of the head. This way, this way. Right here. For a little bit. Your chest is middle of the back. Push that head down underneath you. Push that head down underneath your stomach. The head can't come underneath your stomach. Yep. Hey, since you guys know, I don't like kids getting used to getting on their knees. You guys will hit the cracks. Okay, so that head. Is that head underneath your stomach?
All right, hey, we'll keep going here. Hey, now we're gonna score from it, okay? Last part here on this. Now we're gonna score there. And so again, for a headlock, it could be a lot more complicated than that. And there's a lot of little finer points that we'll get to another day, hopefully with some of you guys. But the whole object is I haven't scored any points yet, right? I need to get control, get around, get behind, get that takedown, right? And so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna keep that chin, right? You guys remember last week we did post, block, go behind. And so the hand that's on the tricep here, a lot of times this wrestler is going to still be reaching up for me, trying to grab a leg, trying to get a hold of my body. And so from the tricep, I'm going to have to slide that hand down to the elbow inside to post. I'm posting that to the mat so he can't reach up and grab me as I come behind. Now, to replace the tricep that went to the elbow, the chin hand's going to have to remember we came and rolled underneath and went thumb behind here to block. Okay, and so I'm here. Coach is still reaching out with his arm. I slide it down. I go post, right? I come underneath, block on my toes. For now, we'll just come around and get our points. We got some other finishes and stuff we get to. For now, just knowing that I'm putting my weight on, I'm going to be on my toes. I know it's kind of weird when we're starting on our knees here, but realistically, we're in this position. I'd be here, on my toes athletically with all that weight on them. But just so we have time, make sure we have time to get to those referee positions. We'll just start here. Chin, arm. This wrestler is going to reach up. We're going to post. Come underneath, block. Circle around. Back that hip. Get our 2 points.
Couple of things. Would you get back in your starting position, please? Couple of things I want to point out here, ladies. I noticed as we first started here. If you guys notice, and I noticed this coach doing it. Either way. Look at where his head is. His head right underneath coach's chest. It's not out to the side. If I'm doing a front headlock with that head out to the side, I'm gonna be in trouble. But if anybody is any decent at all, okay, I gotta have that head out underneath it. Number one, okay. Number two, as coach said, his post hand is gonna be the one that's already on the elbow right now. Okay, so that's the hand right there. Then the other thing, the block hand, he comes over the top. It's his forehand that comes over the top of the head. A lot of our people, when we teach this to begin with, they'll come underneath the head, but that's not going to work, obviously. You're coming over the top of the head, and then, like Coach said, you got that thumb to the outside of the armpit there. So just really slowly one more time. And these are just kind of details that I know that we'll miss if we don't really point those out. So I'm kind of pushing it one more time.
And I'll add one. I'm putting my weight on, right? Sometimes like, well, I'm going to get my hand over there without coming up. And then this guy's gone, right? So I gotta have my weight on him, and I come here.
One more. Since you're gonna add that one, I'm gonna add one more.
Okay.
Look at coach's shoulder position. And I've talked to a couple ladies on this. Some of you guys, I've noticed your shoulder is clear up here. That's too high. That's too far back. His shoulder position is right on his upper shoulders right here. And then everything works from there. So when I teach this, I call that we're separating a little bit, so it helps us to do this movement here. That's the separation part. If I play up here, I'm not separating here. I'm not separating enough. I got to get down here, okay?
For visualization, you can see there's this, on our shirt, we have a lot of these wrestling character circles. That's kind of where I aim my shoulder. There you go, right on that thing. Okay. But let's drill it. We'll stop talking. We'll come around and help you guys. All right, 1, 2. Yeah.
There you go. Take your time. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. That was good. That was good. I'm sitting there watching That's how you learn the best. Very good.
Yeah,
Very So we got that for the coach. Just put back your hand on the back of the block. Yes, follow up right there. Now you're going to come around behind. Two. You just gotta take it out. That was good. That was pretty good.
Yes. All right.
Now, here's what I'm saying. You can walk around behind your big one arm, behind her. All the way around behind. Next thing you know, it's ready to go now. All right, very good. Try to get your thumb.
Hey, those look pretty good. All right, that's time. Hey, those don't look bad. You know, it's kind of a weird way to learn it, right? And so, you know, if I was going to be real picky and you have more time, we would do this probably from our feet, because some of us are getting kind of bunched up there on our knees and maybe not getting the full concept. I'll go one more time on my feet so you can see what it's really going to look like. And some of you guys just got to get used to accepting that you got to keep your weight on. You're not going to hurt this person who's wrestling, right? And if you can hold them down with your body, they're going to be out of there trying to get on top of you. Okay, so we can't be coming up and taking our weight off when we're going around. But again, we're in here wrestling. I'm going to go sit. Headlock, right? Skull breathe down. Now, this is where I'll really realistically be. My knees will never hit the mat the whole time. Okay? And look at all this weight I got on Coach. He's not liking this. Okay? I weigh about 150 pounds too. So he's really not liking it. But I'm keeping it down. If I'm here, he's just going to blow through me and take me down or circle, right? And so right when I snap, I'm here. Okay, now I'm able to move. And then again, post, block, I'm coming. Grab that head, we'll come inside, tackle, half Nelson, all sorts of stuff in there, okay? But that was a good job. Let's go a little bit live. We're going to go from front headlock position. See what happens, okay? And so we'll go, 30 seconds. Each wrestler will get a chance in there. We'll go 2 different partners. We'll get a drink. And then we'll close it out with just a quick crash course of how to get into our referee position top and bottom, okay? So when you have your partner, from here, one wrestler's going to go. I already got my front headlock, chin and arm. Actually, we'll go on our feet. I want to see if we can get them down. I got chin and arm up here, okay? We'll start from there. See how that works. So go ahead and get that position. We'll start here about 30 seconds.
So one person is going to start with that front headlock, okay?
One person.
Yeah.
Yep, you guys just start going by, either pull her to the mat.
Wait, let's start. Yeah, big set. Got chin and arm here.
Yeah, we're
Got the
gonna
chin. You're holding that from the top.
Go ahead, start with the front headlock.
Somebody grab up.
You're going to get ran over.
All right, let's see what happens. You guys get ready to wrestle. Get your stance. Ready and
Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. It's slide. You can get out, get out. Get behind your head. Do it again. Step on top. Wait, yep, start with it.
10 seconds, keep going.
Both you guys wrestle, Keep going. Behind those arms, Keep on,
3, 2, 1. Time. Good job. Hey, take a couple deep breaths. And now we'll switch positions together. Another wrestler chance. I got chin and arm. And then we'll wrestle from there. So go ahead, switch the other wrestler now. We're going to front headlock.
Start that front headlock.
We're just switching positions.
Yeah, so now you can
So the other person has it.
Sure you get that stomach or that head underneath the stomach.
Well, I used to think somebody standing behind you. Hey, just remember, if somebody's standing behind you, you don't want them to be able to see their head. Okay? So yeah, hold that baby underneath there. Squeeze those elbows together. Yeah, that's good. Ready? Wrestle.
That's why I make it under. There, now post block. All right, do it again. Get it right. Right here to there. Sprawl. Keep going. Same person on top. You get it done. Go again.
10 seconds.
Go.
Hey, way to scrap. I like it. I like what I see. We got some aggressive wrestlers in here. That's huge, right? Especially when you're starting out. If you're just aggressive, man, and you learn just to stay in good position, you're gonna be pretty successful. And I like a lot of fire I see. Go get a drink, go to the bathroom, we'll finish up with a little referee. Good work. Get after it. Watch out. There we go.
Yeah.
My uncle slightly told me a story where one time somebody slammed his gas and so when he got he slammed his face real fast and that was a little blood spot. I wanna have your face. It's like oh yeah.
I know.
Well, but you did on this.
All right, hey, when you guys are ready, let's all find a spot. You're just find. You don't need a partner right now. Maybe get near your partner. And let's get on this white circle, the big white circle here. We'll spread out. We'll start going over referee's position here. I think why don't you guys come in? I think we'll all just line up on this big white circle to make it easy and go through some referee's position.
Hey, Jordan, 3. Get on the white line now. Up here, please.
Coach Ron, you're a historian of, you know why it's called referee's position?
I don't.
The referee puts you there, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know. Gotta have call something,
I
right?
do some research on that. There you go. My wife's like, oh, great. Here comes the YouTube videos. She knows all about Milton of Proton or whatever. I'm reading a book about the history of wrestling. None of my family likes it. It's up on TV. All right, anyway, back on track here. So referee's position. If you guys have ever seen wrestling, I'm sure you guys have seen it. You know, you'll see some point in the match, some wrestler kind of gets down like this, and the other wrestler gets behind them and they get like that. And so that's what referee's position. Now every match is going to start in neutral position where one wrestler will have their foot on the green, one wrestler will have a toe on the red. You'll also have an ankle band that's red or green, and that's how the referee communicates the score to the crowd and the scorekeepers. He'll have something on his wrist that's green or red. So if Jake's red, he takes me down, referee will hold up 2, and so that's kind of how the score is set, it kind of stays organized. And so at the end of a period, right, the referee will flip a disc that's either red or green, which means somebody's going to have choice that period. Or if I don't want to take the choice that period, I can defer and let him take it, and then I'll get choice starting the 3rd period. Okay, that might be more than you need to know. You'll figure all that out real quick, right? But my choices are top, bottom, neutral, or defer. Okay, and so that's one way that we'll start in referee's position. Another way might be if Jake takes me down, right, and we were kind of rolling around and we roll out of bounds. When the ref brings us back in, since Jake was in control, I'm going to start him down in referee's position at that point. So just a little background on why we do that. Okay, so we use this rectangle here for this too, right? And so the significance of that, I think Coach was telling me. I always just said, you know, why you need knees behind, hands in front. I think what were you saying? Like you actually can have your hands.
Yeah,
to the bottom,
yeah. He's got
we won't worry that. Maybe won't worry that much. But the point is, I can't be here. I can't be in it, right? They got to kind of be in front. So I got to at least be that wide between my knees and my hands. I'm sure maybe people start doing this, or I don't know. Who knows why they have to do that? But so we'll start with bottom position. So everybody just go down on their hands and knees, and we'll talk through that. And so bottom position, right? You know, we're starting like this person on top has an advantage. You know, I can carry their weight, and you know, and from here, all they got to do is get me on my back and send me. You know, for me to get an advantage, I need to do a work to be on top. I got a lot of work to do. Okay, and so we want to set ourselves up for success. And basically, what my options are, you know, the most common one that you'll see a lot is just called a stand up, where basically I'm going to stand up and try to get away from my opponent. And there's also some sit out and sit back type maneuvers, which I can do this, maybe try to get a reversal or to set up a stand up. And those look something like this. I'm gonna always pressure back. I'm gonna like bring my hips out, or I might just push back into my opponent like that. Okay. And so the point is, any of those options are gonna involve my core, right? My legs, my hips, my abs. All of that's gonna be very, really important. And as I said, we're always pressuring back. We always want to get our pressure back because when the wrestler gets on top of me, probably 9 or even 10 times out of 10, their goal is going to be to drive me forward, get me flat, and then try to roll me over. Okay? They're usually not going to push me back or pull me back or anything like that. And so one thing that we do to start help ourselves up for success is try to keep the weight off our hands. Okay, and so if my opponent already wants me forward, I don't want to help them out by already being leaning forward. Now I got to go back into them and then up or out. Okay, and so to do that, couple things. Just like on our feet, right? To have our balance. We want to have a pretty good base. Don't want my knees go close. Right? So I open them up, kind of make a V here, and get my knees wide. So I got to do a little base there. Okay. The other thing is, and you might have coaches that teach you to tell you different, but I'm a big believer, and it helps me get my way back, is to go shoelaces down to the mat. Okay, and so some of you might be more comfortable, or it might be your instinct to roll your toes underneath like this. Okay, but that kind of brings my weight forward. And so I like to go shoelaces down, and then I'm going to sit my behind back down on my heels as much as I can here. Okay, so I kind of, and my toes are kind of pointed. It's kind of like a triangle for me, but you don't have to. Your feet toes go straight out. Okay, but right here. Now from there, again, I do have to put my hands on the mat. But now, look, I can put them here. There's no weight on those at all, hardly. Okay, and now I can really be explosive to get that first move. Where if I'm just kind of lazy, just doing this, now my opponent's already got an advantage. Now it's going to be even more so. So sit back, shoelaces down, knees open. Here, a little bit of weight on. And then I don't really teach or have a big preference. Some coaches say round your back. Some say do this, that. I think that's a personal preference. Coach, do you have a?
I will round my back. I kind of push back a little bit so that I'm a little bit more upright. Just because everything the coach is saying is helping him put the pressure back. And so I'll have my weight back, hands, light weight on my hands, but I will have my shoulders back a little bit more. So if the whistle, boom, I'm pressured back. Whether I sit back or it's a stand up, I can get those head and shoulders back on it. So, like Coach said, I don't know that it's a big deal. I teach my kids to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Now that makes sense because, like I said, it's back, back, back. Hey, everyone looks pretty good here, so we'll keep going with the top position. Again, getting into positions is just something.
Here's one of the things I would tell you guys. The coach does this too, but you get on. So what we could do, we can see how much weight you have on your hands. Come by and we do this. If you fall forward, that means you have too much weight on your hands. She got no weight on her hands, and that's pretty darn good right there. That's a good starting position. You guys, check that. Coaches can check that. Smack those hands up. If they fall forward, that's too much weight on your hands. Okay?
Yeah. Good. Okay. And so we won't come do the hand smack check today, but hey, we might next week, or sometimes when we're just getting kids down, because I'll tell you what, this is something that we're real sticklers on. It's just starting position. Some coaches will teach it and just kind of let the kids plop down there, however. And we'll hold up a live wrestling for 30 seconds to make sure everybody gets in good position, because the position, the first 1 to 3 seconds could be the whole difference in the period, which could be the whole difference in the match. Okay, so you have to understand and embrace the start is so important here. And especially for the bottom wrestlers, I'm already underneath at a disadvantage, right? So I got to be first off the whistle. But now we'll go into the top position here, okay? The top position, in my opinion, is mostly you're just going to have to kind of memorize where everything goes. And so the first thing, though, I do start with, the one thing I really kind of stress and emphasize is something I call power foot, right? And so basically, if coach's toes are pointed out there towards the door, I'm going to go perpendicular, trying to kind of, go that whatever. I'm going perpendicular. I won't do my lasers. I already tell you guys about the lasers. Little kids, the lasers. So I tell the kids pretend there's 2 laser beams pointing out, and I got to block them with my foot. So that helps you. Anyway, but that's my power foot. The reason why is because I want to drive him forward, right? My hips are getting far apart, and so I really am big on getting that foot there. Because basically, I just need to have a foot or a knee back here somewhere. And if we don't emphasize that, we'll have kids here, kids here, kids here, kids here, right? And so none of those give me much of an advantage. Where if I'm here and then point my knee towards his head, now right away I'm ready to drive off of that and push him forward. Okay, so power foot, and then I just repeat over and over: foot, knee, elbow, belly. All right, we say it together: foot, knee, elbow, belly. All right, so I get that power foot lined up. I drop a knee down next to their knee. I got to grab their elbow. Now this is another thing that referees are going to be sticklers on. It's got to be I say just get a C grip. Okay, I'm going to clamp that on. All right, and so what referees won't accept is this, this. You got to be on the elbow. You can't go reversing the elbow like this, but it's not just kind of here. You know what a lot of kids will do if you don't make a deal. They're just like this. So right here, foot, knee, C grip belt, and then I wrap around the belly. Right, I'm chest on their back, and I want my head facing forward so I can read that referee. Again, I'm trying to be the first one off the whistle, so I want to watch their movement. Sometimes you can read and see what they're doing. I don't want to be looking back this way where this guy has the advantage to see that. Okay, I don't have a preference to have my head on one side or the other, but I do want to have it forward. Okay, that might be a personal preference. And I'm going to be putting a little pressure here already, not enough that the ref can tell, but I'm already making him feel our weight. I'm not here where there's nothing going on, right? There's no pressure. I'm going to kind of lay on him, and really kind of, I know they don't want weight on their hands, so I'm going to try to kind of help them, make that a little more difficult by at least laying on them. And you don't want to line your head up right behind, right? Because obviously they can come back and get a head to the nose, okay? So let's just practice that real quick, just with somebody you're sitting next to. One wrestler stay down position, and then the next wrestler stand up beside him.
Okay, then show me top position. Show me, Jordan. Hey, show me top position.
Let's get that foot back here a little bit more. There you go, yeah. We got power foot about 6-8 inches. And then go ahead and switch it up. You already got it. Elbow chop, spiral.
See, that's why you gotta listen to the person.
Oh, that was from before, yeah. That's that fundraiser. That's not for this tournament.
Did they have the same technique?
Yeah.
So you're gonna use my elbow.
So stand up again. You're pretty good. So first thing is your foot. There we go. Now you're ready. So when the referee says wrestle, you're gonna try to bust her flat. Let me see, Jaylee.
Keep switching, go ahead, just keep switching. Get them both down. Yeah, are you on the elbow? Caution.
Take this in.
Right around, touch your butt.
So when the rest goes, you're going to start bring it down the ground. So that one will help you push it in without the ground.
Iron toes, toes to toe.
I mean, you don't want to out so far, you gotta go.
All right, let's see.
All right, hey, listen up.
That time, but you're.
Hey, we only got about a couple minutes left.
You gotta have your foot up.
And you know Jordan ain't having it if we don't get sharks and minnows in the last minute, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. What I'm gonna do is just kind of show you an example of some things that we would do from these positions, and obviously, depending on, how the next week go, we'll get to some of these a little more in depth. But then the reason for that is we're gonna go live a little bit from referee's position to finish this out, okay? So I'll just kind of show you, we're not gonna be able to obviously practice all these, but Coach go on top. So I mentioned from bottom, right? One of the most, basic ones, well, it's not basic, it's one of the, fundamental ones we do. It's called stand up. Again, everything is going back to my belt. Stand up, pressure back, gotta get my feet, I need to grab their hands, get away, turn. That would be an escape, right? This is a basic stand up. It's a lot more complicated than that. The other options I kind of mentioned were things where I would kind of sit my legs underneath, those are called sit outs. So I might do something where I sit like this and then come and roll and grab a leg or something like that. And then the other one is a sit back, right, or a short sit, where instead of bringing this leg all the way through, now I'm just going to sit to that left foot and press into him, and I get like a ball here where I can grab this hand and start wrestling, okay? So just to give you kind of a visual, on top, usually we want to do something called a breakdown, which means I want to get this wrestler flat. And so I'll just kind of share with you like two kind of basic examples, so you kind of have something to maybe try here. One is to be an elbow chop. So we're trying to think of this wrestler like a table, right? If I take away one of these table legs, it's going to be a lot easier for me to knock the table down. Okay, so an elbow chop would be right here, foot, knee, elbow, belly. The elbow hand, when reference the wrestler, is going to not karate chop. I'm just kind of bringing this elbow in here, and at the same time, I'm driving pressure forward. Okay, and the other one I'll mention is a tight waist ankle or an ankle pick, where basically that belly button hand is going to slide down to the far ankle. The elbow hand will come across the waist like seatbelt. Boom! I'm going to pull this heel to the butt, drive, and flat. Okay, and we'll start going into some half analysis and some turns in the following weeks. But get your partner. We've got the whole room spread out, and we're going to go a minute, 2 minutes here, right? So one minute with the first wrestler on top, then we'll take a break, and then we'll switch. And it's live wrestling. We're trying to pin.
The bottom person is trying to get out, top person is trying to get them down.
Let me guys go down here if you want. You got plenty of room.
Yeah, maybe one group.
You got plenty of room down here if anybody.
There you go.
It's possible.
Hey, why don't you guys go over here?
There we go. All right, we go 1 minute here. Bottom wrestler set. Hey, we're gonna watch this. Wait till I start. We gotta look at these positions. It's really important. And I like what I'm saying. You guys are good listeners. Good listeners. If you start with that power foot, everything falls into place. Ready, wrestle.
Go.
Forward.
All right, try to get it out, try to get out. Stay behind you on.
Up your back. Come on, wrestler. Come on, wrestler. Come on. Great.
Wrestling. Keep wrestling.
Try to get your belly.
Keep wrestling.
Hey, one thing when she's trying to stand up, you don't need to sit all upper body. Try to grab the leg.
10
too.
seconds. Keep going.
That way, if you're going up on top of her, she can just go over it.
Keep going.
So you grab her ankle, she can stand up. So not necessarily go up top. Try to grab ankles.
Time. Good job. Hey, switch positions. Other wrestlers on top. Hey, listen.
Good job, you guys.
I'm gonna switch you guys, okay? I'm gonna have Jordan go with, what is it? There, she's just is there a Leela somewhere? I'll just call you Carter, sister. I'll stick that right. I'm just joking. All right, hey, good position down there. And top wrestler, start with that power. Hey, this is the last one here. We'll go for a minute.
Position, be what your starting position.
Ready, wrestle.
Both guys, go. Wrestle hard. Start over. Keep going. Coach tells you to stop. Press line.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, sorry, it's not right there.
Go ahead, Raiders. Good. Yeah, pull it right. Keep driving it. Keep driving it. Yeah, come across. There you go. Figure it out.
You're on your
Yeah.
Hey.
Go on. Turn your back. Turn your stomach. Turn your stomach.
You did good, but when you're right there,
Good job.
don't stop.
That's it.
You made it a lot easier for you.
Roll your stomach if you're on your back. Roll
So
your
what do
stomach.
you think you can always do?
Wait.
Because she's gonna be trying to drive you around with the ankle.
One.
Especially if you throw it off like that. You go up like that.
Hey, give your partner a high five. Celebrate to make you better. Hey, if you want to play the game, go ahead and get on the wall here. We gotta get. Hey, we're already at overtime, so we'll do a quick one.
Come on, y'all, let's go.
Quick one for Jordan.
This is good.
My shorts. We got a couple here. All right, remember, no jumping. That's all.
Yeah.
Shark.
And scream.
Let's go. All right. Sharks backing up. Minnow jump.
You got to tag your shark.
And all my kids.
Sharks
Oh,
back up.
yeah.
Minnow jump. Last one, Minnow go. And that is time. Hey, let's just clap it in. Hey, go ahead and bring it in. We'll get it shut down here. We'll close it out. Hey, good job. We're what, third week of this? At least 5 more to go until, the high school girls will be beginning their season. Hopefully, some of the younger ones consider keep coming. I know you'll still be here, right? But man, five practices of learning this stuff when, 90-80% of the girls are going to be showing up in November, having to figure this out for the first month. It's going to be exciting to see some of you guys go out there and have some success. So keep coming back as long as you can. Keep coming in here. Bring a friend. Bring if you know anybody else going out for wrestling. We got a couple less here tonight, right? So and that's that's expected in anything that's new. But don't get discouraged because it's tough, and give it a chance. Keep coming. And like I said, we're giving you guys a lot in a short amount of time, but it's all going to start coming together. And it's just there's no replacement for time coming in here, getting reps and learning and hearing these things over and over and over. And sooner than you guys realize it, it's going to start all clicking. And man, just watching you guys get and talk like this sometimes. I'm used to the little ones, but I'm always like, hey, we'll barely get through this, and then you guys are picking stuff up so quick and doing so good with it. It's really cool to see. It's exciting. I've been telling everyone, all the coaches, all the parents, everybody I talk to about this has really been a cool thing for me to see. And so thank you guys for coming. Come back next week. Let's put a hand in here. We'll break it down. All right, let's go girl power on 3. 1, 2, 3. Girl power!
I got it on that twice. I never felt that. Oh yeah. So what if I scratch his neck? Yes. Oh no! Don't you even talk about that? Because you clearly forgot about this. I thought you laughed at twice. I'm so proud of you.
open that aside from rearrange. I can cut Tuesday. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So I'll be posting new stuff for like set up mats, but conditions are the same. Good job, everybody. Hey, girls. Matt, Anna, everybody around. Time, things like that. So, I think I have everybody. Hey, girls, go. You got? Yeah. Are we going to do ski? I'm gonna sit on you until you say, "Who's the best coach in the world?" I see that's all my jiu-jitsu kids in there too. I sit on them. Like as long as yeah. I'm gonna sit on top of you until you say, "Who's the best coach in the world?" You're the best coach in the world, and nobody will ever be better than you. You're the coolest, bestest, most smartest adult I know. That whole thing, I'm not letting you go. Get away.
Did you see what size you need?
Yeah, I'll get them all. I'll come here early tomorrow and get them all set up.
So